Steve Reeves really hated him more than anyone else. Steve Reeves was born as Stephen Lester. Stephen Lester Reeves was born on January 21, 1926 in Glasgow, Montana. He spent his early childhood in the rough terrains of the American Northwest. His family moved to California when he was young, looking for better chances as part of the westward migration that many Americans made during the Great Depression. From a young age, Reeves showed great discipline and ambition. He became interested in physical fitness during his teenage years, after he found bodybuilding to improve his health and looks. He quickly became enthusiastic about weightlifting, spending many hours working hard to improve his body with great dedication. The young Reeves went to Oakland Technical High School and later served honorably in the United States Army during World War II. As a soldier in the Pacific Theater, he gained recognition for both his military service and his amazing physical strength, often doing impressive acts that amazed his fellow soldiers. After the war, Reeves came back to California and started taking part in bodybuilding competitions. This choice would later help him become famous. In the late 1940s, Steve Reeves started to take over the bodybuilding scene. His well-balanced and symmetrical body made him stand out in a time when size was often more important than appearance. Reeves won several important titles, including Mr. Costa del Pacifico, 1946, Senior America, 1947, Mr. Mundo, 1948, Y Finalmente Senior, Universe, 1950, established his reputation as one of the most handsome men ever. His appearance was seen as the ideal example of natural bodybuilding. Muscular and graceful, powerful yet beautifully shaped like the ancient statues from Greece and Rome. Reeves' success in bodybuilding caught the eye of Hollywood casting agents and producers, who recognized him as not just a fit person, but also a natural actor with a strong presence on screen. He started taking acting classes and learning about voice and diction to get ready for a new phase in his life. Steve Reeves had some small roles in American films in the late 1940s and early 1950s, but his career really took off when he moved to Italy. In 1958, Reeves was chosen to play the famous strongman in Hercules, a cheaply made Italian movie directed by Pietro Francisi. The movie turned into an unexpected hit around the world, making over $100 million and bringing the sword and sandal genre into popular culture. Reeves built on the success of Hercules with several historical and mythological films. These include Hercules Unchained 1959, The Giant of Marathon 1959, The Last Days of Pompeii 1959, The Trojan Horse 1961, and The Thief of Baghdad 1961. He often portrayed heroic characters like warriors, kings and demigods, bringing classical figures to life with a mix of calm strength and captivating presence. His films were very popular in Europe and Latin America, and Reeves became one of the highest-paid actors in Europe in the early 1960s. Even with the low budgets and simple plots of many of these films, Reeves' strong presence, charm and heroic image captured the imagination of millions. He spoke several languages well, and often recorded his own voice for foreign versions of his films, which made him more popular with international audiences. What made Reeves different from many other bodybuilders who became actors was his support for natural bodybuilding and his dedication to a healthy, balanced life. Unlike many of those who came after him, Reeves openly opposed the use of anabolic steroids and performance-enhancing drugs. He instead encouraged the importance of good nutrition, consistent exercise, and a healthy lifestyle. He published several books and fitness guides, including Building the Classic Physique and The Natural Way, which motivated many readers to seek health and strength in a natural way. Even in his later years, Reeves stayed involved in the fitness community, giving advice, training tips, and motivation to younger people. He was one of the first to support eating less protein and doing more cardiovascular exercise, ideas that were advanced for the bodybuilding community at that time. Reeves strongly criticized how modern bodybuilding changed in the late 20th century, expressing sadness over the focus on size and mass instead of looking good and having balanced proportions. His ideas encouraged many fitness lovers to go back to the traditional ideas of balanced and symmetrical growth. Steve Reeves stopped acting in the late 1960s after he hurt his shoulder while filming a chariot scene. Instead of staying in the tough world of action-filled movies, Reeves decided to leave Hollywood and focus on his interests, like ranching and writing. He lived a mostly calm life in Valley Center, California, where he enjoyed riding horses and taking care of them. Even though he stayed out of the spotlight, he was still a cherished figure among fans of classic movies and bodybuilding. In his later years, Reeves kept speaking at bodybuilding conventions and health expos, where he was always welcomed with admiration and respect. Steve Reeves, the famous bodybuilder and actor, known for his roles as mythological heroes like Hercules, had a personal life that included several marriages, each showing different stages of his life and career. He married Sandra Smith in 1955. This union happened during a changing time in Reeves' life when he was moving from bodybuilding to acting. At that time, Reeves was becoming more popular in Hollywood. He has been in several films and gained attention for his strong physique and charm in front of the camera. The marriage to Smith was brief and ended in divorce just a year later in 1956. There is not a lot of public information about their relationship or why it was so short. Many people think that Reeves' growing fame, busy work schedule, and goals in the film industry may have put pressure on their marriage. The short length of this relationship indicates that Reeves, at that time, might not have been prepared to juggle the demands of Hollywood with the duties of a serious personal life. Years later, Reeves formed a lasting partnership with Aline Czartoryski, whom he married in 1963. Aline, also known as Aline Czartoryski, is said to have come from a noble European family, which made their relationship unique. Their marriage happened during Reeves's most successful years as a global film star. By the early 1960s, he was very well known in Europe, especially in Italy, where he acted in several popular peplum, sword and sandal films that attracted many viewers. Aline was right by his side during these busy years, helping him as he worked in the European film industry, often handling tough shooting schedules and the physical challenges of his roles. Their relationship was based on respect and care for each other, and it lasted more than 25 years until Aline passed away in 1989. Her death was a big emotional shock for Reeves, and people who knew him said he was very affected by the loss. She was not just his wife but also his trusted friend and closest partner during the most important time in his career. After several years of grieving and living a mostly private life, Steve Reeves found love again with Deborah Ann Engelhorn, whom he married in 2008. This third marriage happened in his later years, after he had stopped acting and was living a calmer life out of the public eye. At this point, Reeves was leading a more peaceful life in Southern California. He focused on writing, promoting natural bodybuilding, and enjoying the results of his work. Deborah brought a new feeling of happiness and stability to his life. Unlike his previous relationships, which were filled with the chaos of fame and movie sets, this last marriage was characterized by calmness and common interests. They collaborated on different projects, such as fitness books and educational resources, to encourage health and exercise. Deborah played a key role in preserving and promoting Reeves' legacy during his later years. Their marriage showed the lasting importance of companionship and connection, despite a life filled with public success and personal challenges. During his long career in Hollywood and international cinema, Steve Reeves had many complicated relationships, but none seemed to stir up as much real dislike as his feelings for Raymond Burr. Reeves, recognized for his charming presence and strong roles, usually acted professionally and respectfully with his co-workers. However, Burr was different. For Reeves, Burr represented everything he could not stand, both in his personal life and work. Observers who have looked into the careers and personal lives of these two men often highlight several reasons that played a role. First, their very different personalities and ways of working were a factor. Reeves, a former bodybuilder turned actor with great discipline and humility, often felt that Burr's strong and sometimes overwhelming attitude was annoying. Burr was known for his strong and sometimes dramatic style both on and off screen, which was very different from Reeves' more simple and practical way of doing things. More importantly, Reeves thought that Burr represented a type of Hollywood politics and ego that he really disliked. Reeves became quite famous, particularly in the sword and sandal movies like Hercules and The Last Days of Pompeii. However, his journey to stardom included many challenges with the studio system and being typecast. Reeves frequently discussed his frustration with being limited to roles because of his appearance. He struggled against shallow judgments and wanted to be recognized for his real talents. Burr, on the other hand, appears to move through the industry with confidence and smart planning, which Reeves saw as manipulative and dishonest. Personal meetings between the two, supposedly, did not help to reduce this tension. At one special event, whether it was a movie set, a public event, or a private party, Reeves and Burr had a disagreement. Their interaction was filled with hidden anger and mutual dislike. Several insiders report that Reeves thought Burr was condescending and dismissive, downplaying Reeves' achievements and possibly trying to show dominance in social or work situations. This behavior just made Reeves' anger worse. Additionally, Reeves valued being genuine and kind, traits he believed Burr did not have. Burr's reputation for being somewhat harsh in his work and his coldness in personal relationships strongly conflicted with Reeves' values. Reeves, even with his fame and good looks, stayed a humble person who appreciated friendship and respect. Burr's different attitude was more than just a conflict in personalities. It became a symbol of a larger disagreement between two very different ways of living and achieving success in Hollywood. People also think that Reeves viewed Burr as a competitor, not only in their careers, but also in how the public saw them. Burr's roles, especially in famous TV shows like Perry Mason, made him very popular and well respected. This attention may have been something Reeves felt envious of or bitter about. This job jealousy, along with personal issues, increased Reeves' dislike. In the end, Steve Reeves' dislike for Raymond Burr was not just a temporary annoyance, but a strong and lasting feeling. It was a hatred that went beyond just work competition or personal dislike. To Reeves, Burr was a problem in his career, a symbol of everything he wanted to stay away from in his own life and work. Although Reeves is usually kind in public, people who know him well understand that he had very strong negative feelings about Raymond Burr. Reeves really hated him more than anyone he had ever met. Bodybuilding should focus on health rather than on drugs. Those words have never been more true. This straightforward but deep statement reflects what Steve Reeves represented during his life and career. Reeves, a legendary figure in bodybuilding and physical culture, represented a vision of physical growth based on discipline, natural training, and striving for overall health, rather than using shortcuts or artificial enhancements. Many current trends focus on performance-enhancing drugs, but Steve Reeves' method was based on a philosophy that valued the balance of body, mind, and spirit. Reeves became famous in the middle of the 20th century, a period when bodybuilding was not as commercial and much less influenced by the common use of steroids and other drugs that are common in the sport today. His impressive body, marked by a perfect mix of muscle, symmetry, and proportion, was the result of steady hard work, good nutrition, and a strong dedication to natural methods. Reeves' success showed what the human body can accomplish without the use of drugs. He was a real pioneer who encouraged many people to see fitness as a complete and health-focused activity. As bodybuilding developed, it sadly started to move towards a culture focused on drugs. The desire for bigger muscles and quick results drove many athletes to use steroids and other substances, often paying a high personal price. This change not only changed how people view bodybuilding, but also put the health and well-being of many competitors at risk. Reeves' statement is a strong reminder that bodybuilding should primarily focus on improving the body's natural abilities, promoting health, and supporting a long life, rather than compromising health for short-term benefits. Towards the end of his life, Steve Reeves dealt with his own health issues. On the afternoon of Friday, April 28, 2000, Reeves had exploratory surgery as part of his treatment for lymphoma, a type of cancer that impacts the lymphatic system. Even with the hard work of his medical team, problems occurred, and Reeves sadly died just before noon on Monday, May 1, 2000. He died because of a blood clot. A sad conclusion for a man who spent his life promoting physical health and well-being. He passed away at Palomar Hospital in Escondido, California, a place with a touching history, as it is also where his second wife had died years before. Steve Reeves' life and legacy strongly support the idea of bringing bodybuilding back to its original focus on health. His approach highlights the need to respect the body's natural limits, focus on wellness, and cultivate a sustainable lifestyle instead of pursuing temporary looks through harmful methods. In a time when the push for performance-boosting methods is stronger than ever, Reeves' philosophy stands out.
It encourages athletes and fans to respect the true essence of bodybuilding by valuing health over quick fixes, long-lasting fitness over temporary satisfaction, and honesty over easy choices.